believe in you, and I believe in this team. Let's see who's available in free agency and whether or not we want to move any picks. We have $11 million in cap now because Ryan retired. Let's see who's out there for free agents. And will our situation change? Zach Wilson leaves the New York Jets. Wow. I can't believe they completely scuffed it with Zach Wilson. I mean, we can't sign him. You could argue, you know, All-Pro plays pretty good for the moment. Yeah, I agree, user pick. Again, all Madden, I always kind of wait to see what people are saying, and the feedback isn't great, so. So, I mean, Zach Wilson is a possibility, but let's be honest, Colt's younger and better. I know there's some concerns over Colt. I mean, Wilson is obviously a lot more of a pocket QB, even though he does scramble. As much as I want a quarterback with a sick headband and frosted tips. At 97 throw power is interesting, but how much money is he even going to want? At $10 million, that would be everything. So yeah, if we draft a replacement, it'll be, or if we get a replacement, it'll be through the draft. Winston's out there. We're going to have to think about backup QB, but we don't need to think about it right now. Running back, Travis Etienne, which I hope he gets well, by the way. It was really shitty news to hear that he got hurt. Really shitty news. Javonte Williams is out there as well. Gus Edwards. Yeah, we don't need a running back. Obviously, we're good. Unless we were to get rid of Edwards-Helaire. Which, I mean, you could argue sign Etienne or just trade Edwards-Helaire, sign Etienne, but if we're going to trade Edwards-Helaire, it's to make room for Beverly to be our number one, so we're good there. Fullback-wise, of course, we have Peters, so we don't need anybody there. Wide receiver, Keenan Allen. If no one was in on Keenan Allen, I'd sign him to like a one-year deal to try and lowball him. Jacoby Myers is out there. Ideally, we do need a third-choice wide receiver. I mean, Elijah Moore is out there, but you could argue just draft somebody. Yeah, I mean, we could go for Elijah Moore, but So again, running back-wise, not really. Wide receiver-wise, not really. Tight end-wise, Tommy Tremble. I mean, it would be a decent 1-2 punch, but it's not something that we need as much. Like, we should prioritize other spots. Like, you got Brevin Jordan, who's a little bit better than Bolin. Sox, I'm still going to go through the list and see who's available. Shut your face. I know Aaron Donald is there. Shut up. I love you, but shut up. God, again, Tremble. Jets just let all the draft pick walk, apparently. Teron Armstead is out there. I'm talking to Chad. I don't believe you. Rashaan Slater. Rashaan Slater's a free agent as well. I'd actually really like to sign Rashaan Slater, but we don't necessarily need him. Armstead would be a one-year fill-in if we could get for dirt cheap, which we can't. Slater's not a horrible idea. He's an improvement on who we already have. Reisner I wouldn't go for. Tracy McKinley's not that bad either, but the problem with these free agent O-linemen, they're expensive. And again, like on the O-line, the weak link is Hennessy, who's not that bad. Zach Martin we couldn't get on a cheap deal. And then Walker Little. Yeah. Defensive line, Jadeveon Clowney. The problem is he's 32. Kwity Paye is a free agent, but Casey Austin's on a better trajectory. So we don't need Kwity Paye. Defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox. But we are pretty damn well set up at DT. Right-hand side, Aaron Donald. He is 34 years old. If he wasn't 34, I'd sign him. I mean, basically it would move Casey Austin into a depth role for a season. And is it worth it? I don't know if it is. Do we even have the money to sign him? We have... How much of an offer would this be? Yeah, we don't even have the money to sign him. So... not a chance. Linebacker, Cody Barton. We have better options. Joe Tryon's there, but we don't need him. Middle linebacker, Eric Wilson. Obviously, we're set up pretty well there. Right-hand side, holy hell. Okay, so there are just no linebackers out there. At corner, Byron Jones, Darius Slay. Like, we're good. We could make a low-ball offer for Byron Jones, but it depends on if we go for anybody else. Gladney's 28. Eric Stokes, I'd rather go with the younger guys we already have. At safety, Eddie Jackson. I'd rather just try to develop Bernard. 23 and a 77. Although Trayvon Moehrig is there. 83 at 26. And you could argue he's a shortcut to Bernard. Will Bernard go up 6 overall points in 3 years? Moehrig could be worth it. And then Jaquiski Tart. I feel like, shout out to Harrison Butker, by the way. Justin Tucker, Willotts, Koo, Blankenship. I mean, we're still good with Bass. Who's 28. You could argue maybe Evan McPherson, but nah. Actually, signing Harrison Butker isn't the worst option in the world, depending on how fast he regresses. By the time he's down to Bass's overall, honestly, I'm going to send a low-ball offer to Harrison Butker. Get arguably the top. Is he the top kicker? He is the top kicker right now. If we can get Butker on a low-ball offer, it's worth it. And then a punter, it's Johnny Hecker, but obviously J.K. Scott's much better. So, to look through one more time, backup quarterback. I mean, we're not going to have the money to sign Zach Wilson. We're just not. Yeah, we don't have the money. No crashes so far, Craze, but if there is one now, I'm blaming you. We'll worry about backup QB later. Running back-wise, we're not doing anything there. I mean, again, you could say Etienne's a bit further along than Beverly, but...
Oh, good for you!
G Penn, thank you for the follow. Don't need anything at fullback. We don't need anything at wide receiver. I mean, we do, but it's, do we send a bunch of money Elijah Moore's way, or do we draft somebody? Let me take a look at who's available for wide receivers, because I'm quite sure this was a good draft for wideouts. I'm quite sure. Yeah, the number one guy in this draft is Morgan Peters. I don't know if I'd take him 4th overall, though. A little bit concerned about that. But in terms of wideouts, I mean, yeah, there are 4 guys that's over a 7.0. I think we could look to draft a wide receiver instead of signing one. Instead of signing someone who's just okay for a good 3rd choice receiver, let's go for a home run in the draft. So we won't go after Elijah Moore. We'll save money there. Again, tight end wise, I mean, Brevin Jordan's not that big of an improvement. So Rashaan Slater is kind of my biggest question mark here as to whether or not we should go for him, and I think we should. Again, Armstead's going to get a lot of money from Miami. Kinley's not bad. We are heading into Season 5. This is Season 4 off-season. So again, Colbert's not bad at 26. Blackburn's 25. Jensen and Andrews aren't worth signing. We do need an offensive lineman because we got rid of our Bradbury. So yeah, we do need an offensive lineman for sure. And then you could argue maybe move on from Lindstrom, but I'd rather still just keep Lindstrom. I mean, like, we could get Jensen as like a 1-year fill-in player. McKinley's not really good enough to replace Lindstrom. So, no doubt, Rashaan Slater has to be a target here. If we have the money, which we might not. Titans, what's going on? We don't have the money. It is indeed a regular franchise. We have to make the choice of giving up a draft pick or player to make room, or bank on drafting an offensive lineman. Let's check the draft for the O-line. Yeah, we, Mark Baker? Yeah, we might want to free up some cap space here. Titans, there are indeed glitches. I haven't had any, like, score bug glitches, but this game has crashed on me no less than 25 times. Let's see who we can move on from here to make room, because we need to pick up Rashaan Slater. We need to. Again, we have 41 million in cap room. It's just we have high draft picks again. All that bonus money is doled out. So who's movable? Obviously, McLaurin's making a shitload of money, but it's worth it. Obviously, Kyle Pitts now at this point is making a shitload of money. I do have my practice squad players that I got to make sure that I can cut. Barnes, I'd love to be able to replace. Davenport dropped by a point. We're likely to draft a linebacker. I think Davenport is the shout. Like, we have younger guys that could replace him. There's also Jamel Dean. Although you could argue we probably need Dean more than Davenport, but I mean, we have Bell and Reddick, and these two guys are dying for breakout moments. The guys to move are Davenport and Dean. Davenport, I'd like to hold on to until we have a more dead set good option to replace him. Whereas Bell and Reddick should be able to pick up the slack for Dean. Should be able to. Buffalo says they're interested. Do they actually have a spot for him? They do. And we are going to look for picks next year instead. Absolutely look for picks next year rather than this year. And it won't be a first, unfortunately. But we'll see if a second and a third works. All right, so we trade Jamel Dean to the Buffalo Bills for a second and third round pick next year. Frees up the cap space. That will allow us to make a play for Rashaan Slater this year. At least it should. At least it should. There must have been a penalty on the deal, or it didn't go through properly. Was there a penalty on the deal? That's the question. I'm going to go to user settings, but... Okay, I forget what a check it was. Members, right? Nope, wasn't members either. Alright. Forgot where the hell to check to see if I have, penalties. Did they get rid of that in terms of the cap penalties? Just outright be in finances. Sniper, what's going on? I went to user teams. It didn't bring me to the same menu that I'm used to it bringing me to. There we go. Yeah, we apparently have $58 million in cap penalties. Which was to be expected. Let me see if I can get this deal done without clearing them. Because I'm cool with this. Sniper, very nice. I mean, it's not surprised we have cap penalties with the top-notch players that we moved on from. I bet that's from Ryan retiring? Probably. At least some of it. Can also look to move on from Davenport. It's a bit more of a risk, but I'm willing to do it. It looks like we might be able to get Chicago's first next year. Let's see if we can get Chicago's first next year and like a sixth. for Davenport. Just the first? Alright, we'll have to give up a pick this year. I'm willing to give up Davenport, and yeah, we'll have to look for a linebacker in the draft. Let's give up our fourth. Done deal. So Davenport, we also move on from. You could say that's just going to add more cap penalties, and it might. Let's hope it doesn't. And if it does, then hey, technically what I'm saying is I want to give up Davenport. I think it did, actually. So here, I'm going to clear the cap penalties, but my argument is I gave up Davenport too. Granted, I got a decent amount back. Oh God, look over there. What's that over there? Oh no, hey, we're fine. All right, so how much money do we actually have to spend? Now we have 12 million. So, nope, we don't even have anything. I have to hope that, okay, well, clearly we can't go for Harrison Butker. No matter what the hell I've tried to do, it's not working. We have to go for Slater first, not Teron Armstead. We have to go for Rashaan Slater above all else. Above all else. And if I can't get Harrison Butker, then I can't get Harrison Butker. And apparently I don't have the salary cap to make that deal. All right, how much bonus money do we have here to work out this deal? I mean, it might be a little bit glitched out based on just like having to sim a week. The problem is I can't afford to sim a week. Is his interest in the deal going down while the signing bonus is going up? His interest in the deal is going down while I'm giving him more money. What? Okay, we can't get Rashaan Slater. So something's broken. I'm adding bonus money to Slater. Something's broken. Okay, so we got rid of 2 players that maybe I kind of wish we didn't get rid of now. I guess that's my punishment for clearing the cap pens. So something's broken. Let's go back and lowball Harrison Butker. And hopefully Rashaan Slater's there after week 1. And that will allow me to still go for that. All this player trades for picks. Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. We were trading for picks next year, too, with those specific deals to try and make sure we weren't getting burned on the penalties. But it is what it is. Getting Rashaan Slater isn't the end-all, be-all to this team. We'll be okay. Paid the price for our lack of vision. We clearly have a vision. It's just certain players come into focus here. So, you know, the plans can change. So let's see what happens. We'll hope Slater's still available. And if he is, we should have a boatload of money to sign him with. And we didn't get an answer from Harrison Butker either. And we still don't have a boatload of money. Is Slater gone? Slater's gone. He signed in Carolina. So the only big free agent we're looking at now is Harrison Butker. All right. Well, needless to say, free agency hasn't gone exactly according to plan. That's okay. Because we are still set up well for the draft. You could argue, well, Rashaan Slater or having it. Again, we know how good Rashaan Slater is. He's a pretty damn good offensive lineman. We might be able to get the player that puts us over the edge and gets us into the playoffs, if not into contention with the draft pick. So I'd rather have the draft pick. It's not as if the O-line is abysmal. So it's not as if the O-line's abysmal. So again, let's hope that Harrison Butker signs. And he does. So now we have $84 million in available cap. Well, the extra cap kicked in. Well, fuck. Just 2 weeks short of being able to sign our offensive lineman. All right, well, hey. Fuck. Well, the problem is, though, I cleared it, right? I'm not even going to be able to use it, so who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I can't even use it. It literally didn't make a difference. And if anything, I traded 2 guys that I could have just kept. So, whatever. Here we are. I'm not gonna worry about backup QB still. Let's just go. We could sign we could sign Batonio on a cheap deal. A cheap 1-year deal. Yeah. Let's go the veteran route. Joel Bitonino. Let's lowball you and see if you want to sign here for 1 year and be our right guard. Is his interest in the trade not dropping? Okay, it is dropping. Well, I was gonna say, or the signing. I'm not worried. As weird as this has been, I'm not worried. All right, we'll get him down like a 70-point offer. From there, we don't really need Eddie Jackson, do we? And like Derek Carr as our backup would be funny as hell, but like Dwayne Haskins, Josh Rosen are there, Davis Mills, Matthew Hawkinson. We'll find somebody to be our backup. I'm not concerned. Running back wise, I get we could bring in Josh Rosen for the memes, but running back wise, we're good. Fullback wise, again, we're good. Could sign Mike Williams as our 3rd option, or even Adam Thielen, but I'm gonna pass. It'd be nice if there was an old wide receiver with like X factor. Could bring in Tyler Higbee on a 1-year deal, which we were tempted to do last year. I mean, we have the money. I wish I could see the type. Like, I want... Okay, I can see the type. I was going to say, who's like a really good blocking tight end? Dylan Stoner. So, yeah. I mean, we could bring in Higbee. Bowles we don't need. Tonio was the best offensive lineman still available. Could argue David Andrews, but I'd rather still try to train up Matt Hennessy. I think we're good. I mean, again, we're not going to get everybody that we were hoping for. But that's okay. If Blair Jones didn't have an offer from Seattle, we'd go for him. And the argument is get Eddie Jackson for 1 season or try to train up Bernard. I'd rather try to train up Bernard. Yeah, I'd rather try to train up Bernard. And Jaquiski Tart we don't need. So let's go for Batonio, and that's about it. I don't even think we really need Higbee. And our last bit of scouting, that was Bizarre West Coast. My man, how are you, friendo? How did the stream go? Welcome to Madden being Madden. I'm sure you wouldn't expect anything less. We'll burn through these last few scouting points here. Alright, cool. Good, good, good. So, let's see how free agency wrapped up. Let's see what we got. Dude, I've been good, man. I've been good. No complaints. I mean, aside from this game breaking at times. Antonio signs a cheap 1-year deal. Let's take a look at free agency. So, Aaron Donald went to the Raiders, because of course he did. Zach Martin to the Cowboys. Teron Armstead to San Fran. Keenan Allen to Washington. Travis Etienne to Kansas City. Yes, I am going to move our kicker Bass. Javonte Williams to the Bucks. Justin Tucker to the Raiders. Dalton Risner to Washington. Rashaan Slater again went to Carolina. I wanted him. Ryan Jensen. Eddie Jackson went to Philly. Byron Jones to Seattle. Zach Wilson goes to Tennessee. The Jets move on from him. And he goes to the Titans.
Oh, we're doing this again?
Time to sell. 8 months. 7 in a row. Thank you very much for that. How you been? Yeah, let's go. I've been going good, man. What about you? It's always good to see that you're streaming. Quiddy Pay goes to Chicago. David Andrews went to the Cowboys. There you go. Jacoby Myers to San Fran. All right, I've shed enough tears. So to the draft we go. We don't get Rashaan Slater. We move on from a couple more veterans that we might regret moving on from. That's just kind of how it works with us. To the draft we go. You ready? Here we go, everybody. Be prepared. All right, prep the eyes. Prep the eyes. You might want to turn on a light. Maybe get a good stretch. Really got to stretch that throwing arm. All right, fellow lefties, let's stretch that throwing arm. Here we go. Grab it off the belt. Pull the pin. Flashbang. Out. Oh, my God. All right, there we go. It's my favorite thing to do in this game. So fucking stupid. Oh, I am a lefty. Yes, I am. Oh, it's so fucking stupid. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the draft board and see who was out there. So, quarterbacks. There is only one guy that we would take if we wanted to replace Colt Johnson. It is Keontae Jefferson. 21-year-old out of Georgia. Projected though as a mid-first round talent, 21 reps on the bench. So he clearly has a cannon of an arm. We could consider that. I like Colt, but we could consider bringing in the guy who went to Georgia. Aside from that, there are no other QBs who are worth a gosh darn dang thing. Dakota Gillespie would be interesting, having run a 4.53 with 19 reps, but it's showing him as an early second-round talent. I don't trust that he's good. It doesn't mean he doesn't have a dev pattern, but how much better would he be than Colt? How much better would Dakota Gillespie be than Colt? I don't think he'd be that much better, right? So, I mean, we could consider him, I guess. Aside from that, Aaron Kinney, 4.68. So yeah, maybe we look for one of these two QBs. We'll think about it. Running back wise, now, we don't really need a running back, but the argument is, I mean, I love Edwards-Helaire, but we also love Beverly. You got Bill Simon, straight fours, good speed, good agility. He's projected as an early first rounder. Leonard Griffin ran a 4.34. The agility and strength leave a bit to be desired. Trayvon McCall ran a 4.32. All of these running backs do look pretty good. Paul Wiggins out of Texas, except for this guy. What's weird, though, is our scout still has him as an early first-round talent. I don't know if I believe it. But typically when the combine results don't add up and it says they're an early first-round talent, they still end up being good. But the speed isn't incredible. The strength is okay. It is really good agility, though, so maybe. You shoot right or left when you play shot? I shoot right. I'm a lefty, but I shoot right. Rashad Madison out of Kansas. Not bad. Vince Johnston out of Miami. I mean, there's a lot of half-decent to good running backs here. 30 reps on the bench. Man, Martin Brookins. Straight fours, 30 bench reps. You put him with Beverly? Good Lord. Tyler Aguilar. He's the first one I wouldn't take. It's all about the vert jump for him. Kendrick Watson. Absolutely not. Aaron Holiday. Absolutely not. I was going to say anybody else over a 7. Please. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Roman Bass, by the way. Good speed, good strength. Terrence Crawford. Not so good. Yeah, we pretty much need somebody who has over a 7 to be worth it. Any like late steals? There's a 6.9. Ben Rayford. No. All right, fullbacks. Obviously, we don't need anybody. If we were to take someone, it would be Jeremy Smith or BJ McIntosh, but we don't need to. Wide receivers. Holy shit. Okay, Morgan Peters. Really good strength. Really good jumping at 6'2". I mean, the speed's honestly not that bad for someone of his size. Chris Bruce out of Bama. 4.39, a 39-inch vert, really good agility. All right, Chris Bruce, looking good. Huge Falcons fan. Would love to see a bring a championship to the city. I hate to tell you I'm a Patriots fan, but I do like the Falcons. We're trying. We're trying. Last season, we're going to be heading into our 5th season. Season 4 was the first chance of us really making the postseason, and we kind of blew it. Brian Ellington looks really good. Jose Madden. Good speed, decent agility. He's not bad either. I have flashbacks, trust me. I'm so sorry. I'm not, but I've always said if it wasn't Patriots-Falcons, I would have been rooting for the Falcons. A 4-3 for Oscar Castle. David Bullard. David Bullard's not bad. Early second round talent. Like, he's got speed, but he also doesn't have, like, the agility. Like, the vert jump's okay, but he's only 5'10". I probably wouldn't go for him. So, from there, we got a lot of disappointments. Nate Fitzpatrick. 4.42, good vert, decent. Like, see, he's a little bit better. That was the Hurricane. I had just a little bit of rain here. That was it. Nothing bad. Ramon Andrews ran a 4.31, has some decent agility. There's a lot of receivers. Mario Andrews ran a 4.29, has great agility. Hello to an elite slot receiver. Whew. Cannibal, what's happening, by the way? Casey Coates. Good speed, doesn't really have anything else, though. Michael Harrison, decent speed, has nothing else. Raheem Bush, no. Taj Burks, no. We're going to need at least a 6'5". If not, closer to a 7. Gil Hickman, nope. Terrell Waters, alright. So from here, it's looking dire. But there are a lot of wide receivers we could go for. Tight end wise, massive disappointment in this position. But Sean Hillman, 6'6", good speed for a tight end. He's not bad. Not bad. Melvin White, also not bad. 21, and then Calvin Burke. Burke's got the really good strength, but he's a possession type. I mean, you could kind of carve him into a good blocker. What about Taylor Gonzalez? Could be some tight ends we're taking in the middle rounds here. Pretty much add all these guys to the short list here. Only thing that guy's really got going for him, well, jumping and strength. Split gate. Not ready, Endo, unfortunately. Check back with me in a bit. Timing just didn't line up. I'm sorry. Caleb Robbins, not that good. All right. On the offensive line, it's a disaster area. We got Christopher Vernon, who has everything but the strength, but honestly, 33 reps isn't brutal. Ricky Knoll. Ricky Knoll has speed and strength. Doesn't really have the agility, though. So, he can run fast in a straight line, but he's not really agile, but he's strong. Yeah. Whitfield, not good enough. Offensive line's a disaster area. Left guard, holy shit. Andre Dotson, and good speed and agility. Recommend Portland, Augusta, or somewhere else. Depends on what you're looking for. Nelson Norton. Okay, this guy could be a beast in round 5. Not earlier. At center, Raymond Lehman. So we do have some O-line options. Joe Ward, he's not that bad. Matt Steele. Right guard, Mark Baker. Again, has everything but the strength. It's concerning. Kareem Clifford, pretty well-rounded. Julian Samuels, very well-rounded. Okay. And a right tackle, Juwan Pearson. Everything but the strength, and it makes me really nervous to draft offensive linemen who don't have great strength. Brian White's a jacked dude, though. Left end, okay. So we don't need the most help on the defensive line, but we have to take whoever we think could be kind of an incredible option in terms of, hey, who's a superstar? Who could go X Factor? Like, that's... All right, so Grant Gibson. Interesting. He's 23. That's a bit concerning. Derek Lowell. Good strength and agility, not so much for speed, but he is an edge rusher. Corey Hutton, very well-rounded. Rashad McKinley. I'm going to say no. Like, he's 21. Mid-first round talent, apparently. A little bit worried about the strength because he's a power rusher. Chad Springs has the speed. Doesn't really have the agility or the strength. I'm going to say no to that. Jordan Glover. I mean, fits the bill as a speed rusher. Nate Beckham. No, not good enough. Demarius Drummond. Not good enough. Justin Young. Not good enough. Jeremy Melton has the speed and agility, but he's 23. And Aries Meekins, not that good. The right-hand side, Steve Silver. Fits the bill as a speed rusher, but I'm not sold.
Fanboy.
Kevin Garcia,
The man was a fanboy.
Deke Slayer. Deke, have you still been playing Madden, or did you give up because it's a broken mess? Larry Spence isn't that bad. Deke, thank you, by the way. I enjoyed the baseball that I got to see. How far did you make it with Miggy? Chris Fry, not looking that good. Raphael Charleston, not looking that good. Split between MLB and Madden today. Very nice. Chance McKenzie. Great speed and agility, but man, those reps as a DT are concerning. Marcus Claiborne. It's a lot more well-rounded. Almost have his all-star card. Nice. I still have to play the games with his rookie card. Still play a bit offline. Deontay Blake has the agility, but no strength. Joey Ferguson, well-rounded. And that's it. Linebackers, Jay Spikes. Oh, Deke, everything about this game's a broken mess. Everything. Rashard Kirkpatrick, not bad at all. Josh Holmes, not bad at all. Tyler Adams, kind of trash. We need someone who's a 7 or close to it. Seems to be the going rate. Holy middle linebackers of disappointment. Ooh, yes, I have that glitch where you cannot trade right tackles. Isn't it great? Malcolm Shepard is a beast. He could be a great steal. And that's it. Any ideas for a team with NHL 22? Yes. Am I telling you? No. I'm also going to have to decide what I want to do, and I talked about that in today's video. What the hell do I want to do in terms of like having to use EA's rosters at the start? You know? Corners, Rudy Bush is a beast. Not bad. Matt Gentry is too slow, unfortunately. Good agility and strength, he's just too slow. Like, you see him as a slot option, but if someone takes down the field, he's going to get burned. Shelton McKee, very fast. Very nice. Trey Oliver. Speed's a little bit concerning, but it is straight 4s. Yeah, Gentry ran a 4.5. Mike Pollard. Pretty good. Keenan Bean. Keenan Bean. Not bad. Victor Singleton is trash. Absolute trash. Carl Austin. Trash. He's way too slow. The good guys that were up here were approaching a 7 in terms of a combine score. And nobody else here is, unfortunately. Okay, cool. That's it for corners. Safety, Jason, don't call me Eugene Levy. Looks like a beast. Bruce Yarbrough. He's on the fringe. Telvin Searcy. Looks like a beast. And Dickerson. Beast. And again, the guys that we've pinned are over a 6. Deontay Nash has everything but high-end speed. Catcher. Appreciate the lurk. Take it easy. Get some sleep. Dominique Redmond. Not bad. And then David Allen. He's not bad, but he's not great. And then Randy Jordan. Taj Fitzgerald. Pretty good. Lamar Boss. Pretty good. Dennis Stevens. Pretty good. Justin Flowers. Pretty good. Damn good draft for the secondary here. It's probably a position that we need the least amount of help in, aside from like one more high-end player. LaMarcus Randall, a bit too slow. He's strong, and that's about it. Shelton Red. And then DeMar. Oops, a little bit of lag. DeMar Henley has speed. A little bit of strength. All right, so we kind of have our short list here. Again, we have the 4th overall pick. So, Keontae Jefferson. We would have to decide if he's worthy of the 4th overall pick. So in terms of our options at QB, I mean, number one option is to trade it. Second option, QB, Jefferson. Let's see who else we would consider taking fourth overall. One more check again of Dakota Gillespie. I love that speed. I just can't guarantee he's going to be good. We do need a backup QB. There are 1,000 running backs in this draft. Let me check through them one more time. So again, Simon at least has the speed and the agility. Griffin has the speed. The agility and the bench are a little bit concerning, but he does have early first-round talent listed. Trayvon McCall has the speed and the agility. Again, I would not look at taking a running back fourth overall when we have Edwards-Helaire. But if we were to take somebody here, we could end up trading Edwards-Helaire and then getting picks for next year. Wiggins doesn't really have the speed or the strength, but he has great agility and early first-round talent. Madison has the speed and the agility. Johnston has the speed and agility. Brookins has pretty much just the strength and the speed. And then Roman Bass has speed and strength. So all these guys I'd consider taking. None of them with the fourth pick, though. Wide receiver, Morgan Peters. Has the vert jump and has the strength. That's what saves him. Chris Bruce. Well-rounded, not bad. Don't know if I'd take a wide receiver fourth overall here, though. It seems like a minefield, you know? Like, I'm sure we'd be able to get a wide receiver 13th, considering there's 5 guys here and not the restaurant that are worth it. I mean, again, it's tough to tell with Morgan Peters. I'm not totally sold. I mean, a 4.43 isn't that bad, though. Chris Bruce ran a 4.39, has a great vert, great agility. Peters is 22. Bruce is 23. I'd probably take Peters. I might consider Peters fourth overall. Ellington ran a 4.41, has great agility and strength. He's mid-first round. Madden, potentially early first round as well. 21 has great speed, pretty good agility. Early first round. Oscar Castle has incredible speed and agility. So we're not in need of a number one wide receiver. But there are certainly wideouts we could get in this draft. And then Nate Fitzpatrick has the vert jump and the agility. The speed's not bad. Andrews has the speed and agility. Andrews has the speed and agility. I mean, this guy here too, Mario Andrews. 4th round projection, mid-first round talent. Jesus. So there are wide receivers worth looking at. This is the bottom line. Tight end wise, we definitely wouldn't take any of these guys 4th overall. Just double checking again that they're well rounded. Like, you gotta at least be half decent at 2 things to get me to consider drafting you. Yeah, Bugs, if you win it in season 1 with the Falcons, congrats. Means you didn't play the long game and Matt Ryan carried you. And I'm jealous. Alright, on the O-line again, Chris Vernon at least has the speed and agility. Well, has the speed and strength. Or Noel. Again, we wouldn't consider taking these guys early, but just double checking my options, making sure we didn't put anybody on our list that we don't actually want to take. But we do have some good O-linemen for late in the 1st round, early in the 2nd. Again, we have the 1st pick of the 2nd round. So at least we have options. Clifford, Julian Samuels. There's some great potential for draft steals here. There really is. And defensive end, Gibson's projected as a late 1st rounder. Derek Lowell, mid-1st rounder. Corey Hutton's at least good at 2 things. McKinley, it's okay at 2 things. Mid-1st rounder saves him. Stevie Silver, not bad. Spence is okay for like a super late pick. DT is probably the last goddamn thing that we need. All of these options are still decent, though. No one we'd take 4th overall. And then linebacker. again, I don't know necessarily. I mean, there's no one here on the left-hand side that we'd consider taking. There are some good options. Taylor Woodard might be the one guy. 6'6" linebacker, by the way. I don't know if I'd take him 4th overall, but it would be worth considering. Not to mention, I mean, if he's available at 13, he's definitely the pick. And then at corner, I should say, we have Bush. We have Bush, who's decent. Mid-first round. Don't know if I'd take him 4th overall. He's not the complete package. McKee, early first round. He's probably a mid-round pick. So there are some good corners in this draft. Nobody who I'd consider taking 4th overall, though. I mean, these guys that have a late projection but early first round talent like Pollard and McKee, we can get in the middle of the round. Jason Levy, 2nd rounder. There are some damn good steal options here. That's what I know. But in terms of the 4th overall pick, I think there are 3 guys I'd consider taking. And that is quarterback Deontay Jefferson, if we wanted to try to move on from Colts. There is this wide receiver, Morgan Peters, who looks like a monster. And then probably the top option is Taylor Woodard. I mean, I would be shocked if he's not at least superstar development. He should be, for the love of God. So we're not going to trade up, but we might just trade down.